everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I just wanted to do a quick video about my 25-week midwife appointment. So I had it yesterday and I just wanted to go through all the bits that we discussed, just in case you haven't had yours yet and are wondering what goes on. So the first thing she did when I got there was to take my urine sample off me. So my midwives always give me a pot to take away so that I can just do it at home before I go, which is a lot easier. And she tested that in a few seconds and it was absolutely fine. And then she took my notes off me and offered me my whooping cough vaccine, which you have between 16 and 32 weeks for it to be effective for the baby. So I'm 25 weeks, so I had it yesterday. And for those people that are a bit anxious about vaccines and haven't had it yet, really don't worry. It's literally the smallest needle and it just feels like someone scratched you on your arm for 2 seconds, so don't worry about it. She did say that it can make your arm feel a bit dead afterwards, which it did last night and a bit this morning. Wasn't the best to sleep on last night, but it's worn off now, so it's really not bad. But she said I have to stay for 15 minutes after I have that done to check that there's no reaction to it, which I didn't have. Although I did notice my face was a bit red after I came out, so I don't know if that was that or not, but who knows. Yeah, so that was fine. And then she took me to the bed and we listened to the baby's heartbeat for a minute or so, which was all good. And she told me that the baby had the hiccups. She said you could hear like a bit of a rhythm going with the heartbeat, which sounded like the baby had hiccups, which I couldn't feel. But yeah, it's nice to hear the heartbeat. I know I always say that, but it's just nice to hear that she's wriggling away. And then she measured my bump for the first time. So she measured from top of my uterus to my pelvic bone, and then marked it on the percentile chart. So ours was between the 50th and the 70th percentile, which she said is about spot on for where we should be, so that's good. And she'll now do that every time I go. And other than that, she didn't really do an awful lot more. We went through a few different questions from my little notes. She asked me if I was getting headaches or anything like that, and I said no. How I was sleeping. And then she asked me about brief birth plan ideas and where I want to go, because down here we've got one main hospital in Cornwall, Trillisk, and then there's a few various bits and bobs around. So we've got a birth centre where we live, which is literally, this is where I have my midwife appointment as well. It's like a 2-minute drive from us, and they have got a birth room there. So in my head I always feel like I want to be at the hospital because it's the safest place to be if you've got an emergency. So I said to her, I want to go to the hospital, but I said I don't really know necessarily why, other than that emergency thing. So she showed me the birth room that they have on site there, and it swayed me, but also I'm still a bit unsure. So if anyone's got experience with this sort of thing, please let me know. But she said, so they've got one room and it's got a bed, a birthing pool and like various other bits, but I liked it because you're the only person there. So if you go into labour and someone else is in labour there, you can't use it, but she said it rarely gets used at the moment. So you'd go there, and then they have 2 midwives, she said, so they'll rotate, but there will always be 2 on site. And then, yeah, you basically just, she said obviously you can go in a lot later there. Well, I will be able to because it's 2 minutes down the road. And Lou would be able to stay for the whole thing, which is nice. Obviously, it's nice because I know the midwife's there, so they'd be the ones delivering the baby. But it puts me off, it does put me off being so far away from the hospital. So she said, I asked her about that, and she said they have to preempt a lot of things. So if they sense that like I'm struggling, they'll send me up to the hospital much earlier, or they'd send me up to the hospital really early. Or if the baby's heart rate was even dipping slightly, they'd send me up to the hospital. And then pain relief, they can only really do gas and air. So that's also a bit of a, because obviously I don't know what the pain is. So at the moment I'm like, yeah, gas and air, fine. But will it be fine? So I don't know yet, but it was nice to see what the sort of environment is like. And then I asked her a few questions as well. I asked her about antihistamines because I get quite bad hay fever in the summer, and she just said if you do take something it has to be prescribed by a doctor, so I probably will end up doing that because I suffer quite badly with that sometimes. And then I just asked her about antenatal classes as well, because all the ones that I've seen from my midwife centre online are booked up, and then the second set they've got going run after the baby's here, so it's pointless. But she said that doesn't seem right, that they would be all booked up because they don't get many people go apparently. So she's going to have a look for me, but it's definitely something I'm interested in doing. And I had a look online at some other ones and it was £180 for 7, which I don't really want to pay. So if anyone knows anywhere that offers free antenatal classes, please let me know. I know they've got quite a lot of videos on YouTube at the minute after the pandemic last year, so I have been watching those sort of things, but it's nice to have like a bit of a live thing going on so you can ask questions and that. But yeah, other than that, didn't really go through much else. I think I was there for about half an hour in the end, just chatting away. And then now I see the midwife every 3 weeks, so my next appointment's, well, it's actually in 2 weeks because she wasn't available in the 3rd week, but I think she said she takes bloods and stuff at that one, so I'll probably do another video updated about that. But I hope anyone that is first time pregnant and hasn't had this appointment yet finds this helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.